you everyone for being here today. This is a not so long time in the making, but I'm sure it's very long for the neighbors and the patrons. But we still got a couple little things to do before we complete the campus. With each groundbreaking and grand reopening, I'd like to remind everyone where we started. In 2017, Clevelanders voted to pass a tax levy to support Cleveland Public Library. As part of that levy, we made a promise to revitalize our 27 branches to better serve the Cleveland community now and into the future. Today, we continue to fulfill our promise with the reimagined Rockport in the Bel Air Puritas neighborhood. It's a 5-star building to match our 5-star staff, collections, programs, and services. To our Rockport campus neighbors and patrons, welcome back. This branch is for you. It was designed for you, your needs, and reflects the uniqueness of this neighborhood. We're so happy to see everyone today and to invite you to explore our new space. We hope you enjoyed today's celebration, and I invite you all to come back to see us often. Now, the director, if you would like to share some additional comments. Director?
So please give our board of trustees who leads us every day a big round of applause. Also, our Cleveland Public Library Foundation members. I know I've seen a couple of folks here. If you're a foundation member, please raise your hand. Oh, Paul and folks. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We have a number of elected officials. State Representative Sean Brennan, Cleveland City Councilman Brian Casey, and Cuyahoga County Councilman Martin J. Sweeney. We also want to thank our Rockport campus staff, led by branch manager Luigi Russo. Luigi will introduce our staff a little bit later. Our design, build, and construction partners who helped us build this extraordinary building, architects CBLH Design and Perkins & Will. Please give them a big round of applause. The AKA team and Regency Construction Services, who are our construction managers, please give them a big round of applause. I know John Lang, who is our leader, our chief operating officer, will also come up and give a little bit more detail on the building. So, John Lang, thank you so much for all that you've done to help build this building and 9 others so far in our 27 build to finish and renovate all of our buildings. So please give John Lang. So today you see me, and most anyone who knows me knows that I always wear like some Cleveland sports team's hat, right? That's usually just during the summer I will always be wearing a Guardians hat, or I will be wearing a Browns hat. Sometimes, depending on how good they're doing, or I'll be wearing a Cavs hat. Today I'm wearing, actually, this is a logo from the Cleveland Public Library from the 60s to the 80s, right? And this logo represents what I wanted to kind of push forward, is the fact that while our logos change, right, and as you can see, we have a new logo, we've added a new logo since this logo, we always evolve as an organization. We're always changing. But one thing doesn't change is our rock hard commitment to making sure that this community is served in the best way. Its literacy needs are met, the needs of the community to make sure that its basic needs are met, and of course, the inspiration that a library, especially a brand new library, brings to any community. So we want to really thank all of you for joining us, because today is a new day for the Cleveland Public Library and for this community and the Rockport brand. So thank you for joining us today. So there are some really important folks. All of you are important, but these are folks who help us day to day with support and sometimes with some funding. So we want to make sure that we let them know that we appreciate all their commitment and their support. We're going to start with a councilman who has been here right from the start on this building, right? We had early conversations with Councilman Casey about this building, wanted to make sure that we listened to the community and what we were doing. We had a lot of conversations about a tree, right, that's still here, and we had a number of other conversations about a variety of things that he wanted to make sure that we kept in this library as we moved from our old library. So Councilman Casey, will you please come up and say a few words?
October 12th was Down Syndrome Day in the city of Cleveland, and we brought individuals with developmental disabilities out here, and they planted 3 trees that were along West 140th Street there in honor of trisomy 321, which is Down syndrome. So I wanted to make sure that when we were redoing all of this, that those trees were preserved. And thanks to the library, as well as Western Reserve Land Conservancy, we were able to save those trees, and I know they're here on campus somewhere, so thank you. And I remember having the early conversations with the library and regarding the design of this. And one thing that I definitely wanted to make sure was kept was anybody from 8 to 80 would be able to benefit from this library. Rockport, depending on who you talk to, I'll always advocate for us, is the most used and visited library in Cleveland Public Library's portfolio. So we know that it's very important to not only kids, but middle-aged teenagers, young adults, as well as older adults as well. So when they were coming up with the design, they wanted to make sure that there was a certain place for everybody in this library, as well as meeting spaces for community events that will be going on. And Albert Einstein once said, the only thing you absolutely need to know in life is the location of the library. So when he was smart enough back then, Albert Einstein, to say something like that, it still rings true today. So I want to congratulate Cleveland Public Library on the success of this. I know that there was some conversations recently online regarding the aesthetic look of this library as opposed to the other library that will be coming down relatively shortly. I always referred to that library as the Brady Bunch Library because if you look at the front of it, it looks like the house that the Brady Bunch lived in. But this is at a better location. It's aesthetically more appealing, and you can see it more as opposed to being hidden where the other one was. So congratulations to Cleveland Public Library, all the board members, all the foundation members who are here today. But more importantly, thanks to the community. As you can see just here today, how many people we have here, how well used this library and what an asset this library is to the community. So congratulations to the community on always supporting the library here at the Rockport branch, and congratulations to everybody who was involved. Thank you. And we have a resolution of congratulations. I won't bore you with reading it, but it gives facts about the Rockport Library and the neighborhood and everything. So again, congratulations.
Our county councilman for this neighborhood is Dale Miller, and unfortunately Councilman Miller couldn't be here, but in his stead is Councilman Martin Sweeney, who has, since I've been here 15 years as the library director, and he's been in a variety of different places during that period of time. But one thing has never changed is his love for the Cleveland Public Library and his support for the Cleveland Public Library. So instead of Councilman Miller, I will introduce to you Councilman Sweeney.
Hey everyone, Marty Sweeney here. I am here on behalf of Dale Miller, who happens to be the Cuyahoga County Councilperson. But back in 1997, on January 13th, he gave me the privilege of being the Ward 20 Councilperson at this time. And Dale served this neighborhood for 18 years prior. So the 3 generations of council people all have a role with this library right here. And my memories early on, it was the Democratic Ward Club meeting space for us. And the other thing that kind of took me to a good place, we had the Catholic school and the public school. And we made a focus that this is going to be the neutral place that we have no trouble through Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation. And that played a significant role. So with that all being said, Martin J. Sweeney gets to present a resolution of congratulations to the library systems of the city of Cleveland, or libraries of the city of Cleveland, on behalf of Dale Miller. And one thing that you'll notice about the Cuyahoga County resolutions, we put it in the glass frame. I paid for this extra to make Dale look good. So just for hokiness, on behalf of the 1.3 million Cuyahoga County residents, it is an honor and privilege to stand here with our extraordinary CEO that cares more than anybody that I know in regards to this school, or this library, or this. I'm getting my taxes, the school levy, or the was it promises made and promises kept?
Yes.
That was the coolest thing. All the campaign slogans, it actually happened. Promises made, and guess what? This is the promise that's kept. So on behalf of all of us, it is a true honor and privilege to be able to dispose upon you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, we just walk over here.
And our last elected official, but not least of the other officials, is Representative Sean Brett, who's been in this short period of time as a representative, unbelievable in his support. You know, we get a lot of our support from the state, and it's up to our representatives who represent us up there to make sure that we get our funding. So thank you so much. We're very appreciative.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Congratulations. I'm Sean Brennan, and I represent Ohio's 14th Ohio House District, which includes Parma, Parma Heights, and about a third of West Park. And I'm not going to bore you with reading this either. And by the way, I don't know frame either. I apologize. Thanks for that, Councilman Sweeney. But, you know, I just want to share with you, you know, when I was a little boy, my dad abandoned my mom, my sister, and I. And we really didn't have a lot of money to do a lot of things. But one of the things that I loved to do is Mom always took us to the library. And, you know, she would go do her thing, and it was one place where, you know, you could kind of go as a kid and you knew you were in a safe space and Mom knew you were fine. And I'd go find a book and sit in a corner. And I remember very vividly, I'm getting chills thinking about it, reading Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And, you know, life was pretty bad. And I would get into that book and I would forget about all the stresses of life that I was going through at that time. And I would imagine myself being Charlie in hopes that, if you remember, you all know the story, that his life really turned around. And so I guess that was sort of my dream as a kid as well, that someday my life would turn around. And I know that libraries played a big role in my ultimate success. I love libraries so much I became a school teacher and taught for 30 years. Early on, I was a page at the Parma Ridge branch of the Cuyahoga County Public Library. So I've always had a very soft spot in my heart for libraries and all of the folks that they serve. I've really been an advocate for more funding for our libraries at the State House. We were only able to get it up from 1.67% of the general revenue fund to 1.7%. It was almost embarrassingly small increase. I was advocating for much more than that, and I will continue to advocate for more of that because I know the great role that libraries play in our communities. So it's an honor to be here with you today, and congratulations to all of you because you're the ones that made this happen. You're the ones that voted for the levy and are giving your treasure to not only yourself but to your community. So you're to be commended for your investment in in West Park. So God bless and have a great time at your library going forward.
So while they weren't able to be present, I would also like to acknowledge the proclamation sent by the offices of Senator Nikki J. Antonio and Senator J.D. Vance. And their proclamations are right here. So I would like to now then bring up the branch manager for the building, Luigi Russo. And Luigi's going to say a few words and introduce his staff. Congratulations, Luigi.
Can you hear me over there? Raise your hand. All right, good. All right, so here we go. I got 2 minutes they gave me 2 minutes, so I'll probably go over because they said that. So I'm just going to introduce my staff real quick. Most of them over there. They're the ones that are present. If you want to raise your hands, we got Bill, Bridget, Debbie, Fran, James, Jasmine, Kelsey, Kendra, and our security guard, Ted and Jose. and those not present is Jake, Kara, and Morgan. So here we are today. Did you know that August 2nd, 1964, the old branch was opened its doors to the public? And ever since then, you know, Rockport has always been one of the top 3 circulating branches continuously. Here's another fun fact many may or may not know, but it's of interest to me. But 60 years ago, G.I. Joe came about. So G.I. Joe, right? Everyone knows G.I. Joe. So now you're asking, why did I bring that up? I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan. So if you think about it, 60 years ago when G.I. Joe first came out, 12-inch figure, action soldier, then he became an adventurer, shrunk down in the 80s, 3 3/4. They're fighting Cobra, they're going to space, they got ninjas, and then they cross over to Transformers, and then they're back up to 12-inch figures, and then now they're back to the G.I. Joe Classified series, bringing about, which are 6 inches. They're blending old, the nostalgic feeling, with the new. And so they're trying to stay relevant to their collectors. That is no different than what the Cleveland Public Library is doing. That is one of the best things that I love about the public libraries. They're always trying to remain relevant. Let's go back 60 years at the old Rockport. Card catalog, just books. I don't even know if they have like reels back then. I don't know. But now you've got the online catalog. You've got VHS. It went from VHS to DVD to streaming, CDs, ebooks, Wi-Fi, internet computers. We got a Best Buy Teen Tech Center. It's bigger over here. We got lots of toys in the children's section. We got plants behind me. We're trying to stay relevant to the community. So that's where 60 years have gone by, but yet still remaining relevant. So G.I. Joe is relevant to me. Cleveland Public Library is relevant to all of you. So with that said, I'd like to give thanks to the Rockport staff. They were sweating profusely the last 2 weeks, carrying every book from there to here. And every time I asked for help, you need help, they said, no. So I felt worthless. So I just went outside and picked some weeds and stood by the side of the road and waved to people. So I just want to get on camera that they are the best Cleveland Public Library employees. They're better than any other branch system, other staff at the other branches. And I want to give it thanks.
You better hold on there. Keep going. Keep going, because somebody's going to come for you.
Oh, no, ain't nobody coming for me. All right, so now I want to thank the patrons, the customers, the public, and my wife and kids for coming here. Because we would not exist without the public. And that's it. It says Cleveland Public Library. We exist for you. So we're trying everything in our power to continue to remain relevant. And then finally, I'd like to thank all those like outside of CPL branch. We got property management, security, capital projects. We have other branch staff. We have my boss, Michael Dalby, who's working hard, doing it, always stressed out and working hard. And then Amia to get the book sale going over there. So we got everyone, all these stakeholders, even the contractors that made this happen. I mean, like, if you go to the other FMP, newly renovated branches, I think Rockport's the best one of all of them. So they did an amazing job to bring this all together. So it's pretty impressive. I was kind of behind the scenes to see some of this stuff. I was stressed, but here we are. It's beautiful. And with that, finally, I said, let's get this ribbon cut, have an amazing time together, and be open to discover what this place has to offer. Thank you, and Yo Joe.
This building is one of the best libraries that I've seen built in our system in this. So I'd like to bring up John Lang, who's responsible for that. And while we do that, we're going to have young people who would like to be around. So the signing, Trustee Rashid, would your nieces like to be a part of? We'd like to bring up the youngest kids to come up and actually cut the ribbon. So they get to hold the scissors and everything if they'd like to come up. So other young folks who would like to come up as well. And John Lang, he just introduced all the construction folks. And while we get that, if the board members and everybody can, and the council folks and the Senate representatives can come up and be here. Come on, kids, on this side.
Thanks, Director. Good morning, everybody. I'll keep this brief. Thanks for joining us on a warm morning. It's a great day. Our future is building at the People's University, the Cleveland Public Library. Great projects are only possible with great teams. We have a lot of those team members joining us today. So I want to thank our architecture team, CBLH. I saw Mark Bittinger and Jay Cho here, and Mike Cernak was the project manager with Perkins and Will joining us this morning, and Scott Hefner and Derek Jones. Thanks for making the trip. Great to see you. On our construction side, we have Regency Construction. Janelle Hinkle, Vice President and Senior Project Manager, is here. I'm not sure if I saw Claire Novak or Larry or Corey or any of the building team, but a great team of building professionals. The library's in-house building team, Eric Herman, Jean McFerrin, Tracy, Josie Allen, and Summer Salem this morning. Just a few very brief words on the design. This represents a 25% expansion of space from the previous Rockport library that served the community so well for the last 40 years. We've got relocated the Best Buy Teen Tech Center. We've got expanded technology, after-hours vestibules with Amazon-style book lockers, large community rooms, small community rooms, and a really warm, inviting space that pays tribute to the heritage and the history of this neighborhood, both in its industrial characteristics as well as its performing arts. So, welcome to the Rockport campus of the Cleveland Public Library.
All right, thank you guys.
8, 7, 6,